It is Sunday, the 4th of September 2016. I'm engaged in my alternative spiritual practice of protesting against the Unitarian Universalist injustices, abuses, and hypocrisy in front of the Unitarian Church, Montreal. We've already had a pretty good protest with several good conversations with passers-by, and just got a bunch of people coming along here. Get out of their way.
Yeah, that's part of it. But, this was an old building, but everything else.
So, anyhow, we'll just continue walking back and forth with our picket sign, which says unsafe sect. And this time there's no question mark after the word sect. The original versions of this sign posed it as a question.
Having fun.
Oh, lots of fun. So a cyclist asked him having fun, and well, actually, you know what? It can be quite a bit of fun to be accused of blasphemy in the 21st century by atheist Unitarian Universalists. I mean, that's actually quite amusing. I mean, how many people in North America get to be accused of blasphemy for any reason whatsoever? And when I say, I don't mean like someone coming along and saying you're blaspheming or you said something blasphemous. I'm talking about, being accused of the crime of blasphemy, being accused of breaking the law in a blasphemous manner, because that's exactly what the atheist Unitarian Universalist leaders of the Unitarian Universalist Association are doing. Reverend Dr. Peter Morales is an atheist Unitarian Universalist. Kathleen K. Montgomery has every appearance of being an atheist Unitarian Universalist, and yet both of them and the UUA as an institution hired Stikeman Elliott, barristers and solicitors litigation lawyer, Maitre Marc-Andre Coulombe, to accuse me of the criminal act of blasphemous libel for allegedly making unfounded and vicious allegations to the effect that ministers of the association engage in such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape. But unfortunately for Maitre Marc-Andre Coulombe and the UUA, my blog posts about Unitarian Universalist pedophiles and rapists are by no means unfounded. They tell the truth about Unitarian Universalists who are actually charged, tried, and convicted of such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape and sentenced to jail terms for their despicable crimes. But on top of that, what's most ironic is that even if I was actually guilty of making unfounded and vicious allegations about Unitarian Universalists being pedophiles and rapists, well, that would not actually constitute the criminal act of blasphemous libel unless such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape were held sacred by Unitarian Universalists. So they really made a bit of a gaffe in trying to accuse me of blasphemous libel, because they shot themselves in the foot 2 or 3 times over. And of course, being as stubborn and obstinate as so many Unitarian Universalists are, they still have not formally withdrawn that false accusation. They still have not properly apologized. In fact, they haven't apologized at all. They've obstinately refused to apologize. And they haven't told the truth about pedophilia and rape committed by Unitarian Universalist ministers, to say nothing of Unitarian Universalist Sunday school teachers and lay leaders and so on. No, they're just pretending it didn't happen kind of thing. So, yeah, we're going to be wrapping up this protest soon. It's already gone longer than I expected it to go today. But it got off to a very good start, had some very good conversations, and one of the reasons it's going a bit longer is I'm kind of hoping to have another conversation with a couple of Unitarian Universalists from Florida with whom I had a quite good conversation before they went into the church. I'm kind of hoping they'll come out and we might be able to have another brief chat, or even a longer one. But anyhow, not a lot of familiar faces coming out of the church today. Basically a lot of new faces and not a whole lot of the old regulars today. I don't know how long those new faces are going to stick around once they realize how outrageously hypocritical the Unitarian Church of Montreal is, to say nothing of the greater Unitarian Universalist religious community. So we shall see. Okay, that's the woman who came on the bike, if I remember correctly. Well, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't remember correctly. It does happen. But I do remember correctly about the stuff I blog about. You know, I'm very, very careful to be sure that when I blog about Unitarian Universalist clergy misconduct and other Unitarian Universalist injustices and abuses and hypocrisy, that my memory is supported by documentary evidence as much as possible. You know, everyone has minor memory lapses, and I don't claim that my memory is absolutely perfect. But that's, you know, that's one of the reasons why I run video like this. One of the reasons I run video of pretty much everything that's happening during my protest is to be sure that you know, we have some solid evidence of, you know, what actually happened during the protest. You know, because sometimes Unitarian Universalists behave badly, and sometimes I have some very good responses from the public, and sometimes I have to deal with the police because Unitarian Universalists called in a complaint about my protest. And very often those complaints are frivolous. I nonetheless have to deal with them. And sometimes the police behave badly, you know. Sometimes they behave well too. I have some video of the police fully respecting my rights to engage in peaceful public protest, but I also have videos of police officers, you know, trying to intimidate me into ending my protest, either temporarily or permanently. Quite a bit of police intimidation and harassment seeking to force an end to my protest, and, you know, the camera records that too, so if I have to file a complaint against the police, that I have some pretty solid evidence of their unprofessional and harassing and intimidating behavior. So yeah, one of the reasons I shoot a pretty constant video of this protest is to enhance my memory, you know, because, yeah, I might forget the odd thing here and there. It's good to be reminded about certain things. You know, sometimes it's not good to be reminded of certain things. I'm sure the Unitarian Universalists really don't appreciate me reminding them about their clergy sexual abuse problem, to say nothing of their broader non-sexual clergy abuse problem and their utterly shameful efforts to cover up and hide clergy sex abuse, etc. I'm sure they're not happy to be reminded of that at all. So, but as I said, today's protest has gone very well. No police interference at all. And okay, got someone coming this way. Step out of the way. car traffic. Anyway, we've had several good conversations with people. We've had a fair bit of affirmation in terms of honks and thumbs up and that sort of thing. I took a bit of a break over the summer. Basically didn't protest in August at all. I'm not sure about July. A couple of times, I think, in June. So basically July and August were pretty much protest free in terms of actual protest in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal. I kept up my online protest, blog posts and tweets and so on. But in terms of actually physically engaging in peaceful public protest in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal, because I had other things to do, I let it slip a bit, let it lapse a bit. And sometimes I do that anyway, just for strategic purposes. It's sometimes good to break it up a little bit. Basically, Unitarians at the Unitarian Church of Montreal breathe a sigh of relief and hope that I'm gone for good, you know, so it sort of reinforces the impact when I return. And there's other reasons for taking strategic breaks as well. So this was partly strategic and partly, well, you know, I did actually have other interesting things to do on Sunday mornings. So, and a couple of times I have to admit the weather just wasn't so good. So I just decided I didn't particularly want to get rained on that day. So it wasn't a planned strategic break, but it comes to pretty much the same thing. And I expect that, you know, by starting up again at the beginning of the church year, which begins in September, that it will send a clear message. Got some new picket signs, you know. One of the reasons I didn't protest too is my picket signs were getting depleted as a result of theft and vandalism and so on, and just wear and tear. So I only had a couple of good picket signs. So I got some new ones now, and some reissues of older ones. So, I see Harvey Shepherd, former Gazette and religious columnist, stepping out of the church along with a couple of other members. Let's see if Harvey has anything to say. 1, 2, 3, 4 people coming out. Okay, that's the cyclist. Yeah. All right. Oh, looks like they're coming down the path here. Yeah, Harvey's limping a bit. He's not looking too good. And I guess he doesn't want to have a discussion. All right, we shall continue back and forth. Yeah, Harvey rarely wants to discuss this stuff. You know, he sort of wishes me a good day as he goes by, kind of thing. Tries to keep it friendly, but I guess he doesn't really want to know all the gory details of how his church locally, but also his religious community, nationally and internationally, unfortunately have a bit of a clergy abuse problem, and not only a clergy abuse problem, but a clergy abuse cover-up and denial problem. Because, you know, it's bad enough to have clergy abuse of various kinds, but it's another thing to not deal responsibly with clergy abuse, and instead of properly disciplining ministers, you know, basically intimidating and harassing and shunning and ostracizing the people who complain about clergy misconduct. So, yeah, he probably doesn't want to talk about that. Anyhow, I think things are definitely winding down. I didn't see a whole lot of people come out. It might be because not a whole lot of people went in. It's still not quite the beginning of the church season. I think this is the last service before the church season really starts, with the minister, you know, coming back to preach, but not practice. But yeah, so this was sort of the last summer service at the Unitarian Church of Montreal, I think, and as such it had a lower attendance than normal. And I actually saw very, very few of the regulars, and a fair number of new faces. Also saw this Florida couple who haven't come out, so maybe they went out the back door. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap this up soon. It's basically been a quite successful first protest in September of 2016, and we shall find some other things to do today. I had hoped that they might come out and erase the slogans again, get some more footage of that, but I got plenty of footage of Unitarian Universalists erasing my slogans, so I don't really need a whole lot more, although I'll certainly welcome any more that I do get. And just going to grab the signs here, and we shall bag them.